Hello, Upstart. Welcome to this channel. Well, today I'm going to discuss a story about the Ugandan Jews uh, who were denied Israeli citizenship. Yeah, they are called the Abayudaya. Well, I came uh, across a video on TikTok. It was a video by Lumumba Amin, former Ugandan President Idi Amin's son. Well, he was discussing about the Abayudaya. Yeah, there are a Jewish group uh, from Uganda. Yeah, black Ugandans. Well, this is the story. Let me try and explain who the Abayudaya community are. Well, uh, the story of the Abayudaya is a very unique story. They're a Jewish community in Uganda, and their long struggle for recognition and the right to Israeli citizenship. Well, the Abayudaya community traces its roots back to 1919, when Ugandan leader Semei Kakungulu embraced Judaism and began practicing Jewish customs. Over time, this community grew to about 2,000 members, practicing Judaism with deep devotion, despite being far from mainstream Jewish centers. So, who is their key figure? Well, the key figure to this community was Yosef Kibita. Yeah, one of the most notable members of this community is Yosef Kibita. He converted to Judaism in 2008 through the conservative movement, which first recognized the Abayudaya in 2009. So Yosef later moved to Israel and sought citizenship under Israel's law of return. Well, this is a legislation that grants Jews worldwide the right to become Israeli citizens. However, Yosef's application was rejected. Yes, it was rejected by Israel's interior ministry. The reason? His conversion was not from a recognized Jewish community according to Israeli authorities. Yeah. So the Supreme Court upheld this decision, stating that the Abayudaya community was still considered emerging and not formally recognized for citizenship purposes. Well, these were one of the challenges this community, the Abayudaya, faced. So this rejection, well, it sparked outrage, especially among conservative Jewish leaders worldwide who condemned the decision as an insult to their movement and the Abayudaya community. The community's conversions, mostly overseen by US conservative rabbis, were not accepted by Israel's ultra-Orthodox Rabbinate, which controls religious recognition in Israel. So, what did Joseph Kibita do? Well, his persistence and eventual success, because he really persisted. So, Joseph did not just give up. Over 7 years, he underwent multiple conversions, 4 in total, to meet Israeli requirements. And finally, in 2024, 2024, after a prolonged legal battle, Israel granted Yosef citizenship, marking a significant milestone for the Abayudaya and their fight for recognition. So, despite Yosef's success, many Abayudaya still face hurdles. Israel's recognition of Jewish communities outside Orthodox framework remains limited, and the Abayudaya's status is still precarious. Yeah, this story really highlights broader tensions in Jewish identity and immigration policy, especially regarding converts from non-Orthodox communities. Yeah, the Abayudaya's journey is a testament of their faith, their resilience, and their complexities and identity, exclusivity, and the meaning of Jewish belonging. So, well, some people have asked, why does Israel refuse to recognize the Abayudaya? This was from one of the comments I read on TikTok. So let me give you a small answer why Israel does not refuse to recognize the Ugandan Abayudaya as Jewish. Yeah. So do we have really such evidence that Israel refuses to recognize the Ugandan Abayudaya as a Jewish community? Yes, they did. They did deny, Kibita being one of the examples. Yeah. So one of them is the lack of recognition as a recognized Jewish community. What does this mean? Israel's ministry does not consider the Abayudaya of Uganda as a recognized Jewish community. This means that under Israel's law of return, which grants Jews the right to immigrate and gain citizenship, members of the Abayudaya are not eligible despite their Jewish practice and formal conversions. The ministry has stated that this is a matter of principle, not about any specific applicant, effectively dismissing the legitimacy of the entire community's Jewish status. Okay, now let's come to the conversions not accepted by Israeli authorities. Most Abayudaya converts underwent conversion through the conservative Masorti movement, often with US conservative rabbis. Uh, However, Israel's Chief Rabbinate, which is an ultra-Orthodox and controls matters of Jewish status, does not recognize these conversions, even though the Jewish Agency recognized the Abayudaya in 2016. The Interior Ministry has maintained its refusal, citing that conversions did not occur within a recognized community or did not meet the standards for conversion. So the status as an emerging community. Now, the Abayudaya are viewed by Israeli authorities as an emerging Jewish community. This label implies skepticism about their authenticity and continuity as Jews, since their origins are relatively recent, early 20th century, and not rooted in traditional Jewish diaspora history. So the Interior Ministry of Israel has argued that the group conversions in such communities should not be recognized by the state. So the controversy and the criticism. So these policies have drawn accusations of racism, discrimination, particularly as the Abayudaya are a community of Jews of color in Africa. Critics argue that the refusal to recognize their Jewishness goes against the principle of Jewish unity and the agreements to accept recognized Jewish communities under the law of return. So Israel's refusal to recognize the Abayudaya as Jewish stems from their bureaucratic, religious, and political barriers, centering on status of their conversions and their standing as a recognized Jewish community. Uh, so that is all about the Abayudaya from Uganda, and thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into untold histories around the world, especially in religion and culture. Thank you.